Hi everyone, Dennis Youssef here from Inspired Growth Training, and we are here for the BDM podcast show. And we have got Daphne all the way from Adelaide. Now, I always have my joke, Daphne, so thank you so much for coming on board with us. I do apologize to all my amazing South Australian people right now. I have got some of my closest friends in South Australia, and Daphne, you'll be coming one of them. But you just recently had to fly to Brisbane and you had to get your passport ready so you could make it into Brisbane and go back to Adelaide. Is that right?
No, not at all.
It's just a joke. We like to poke fun at Adelaide. Now, thank you, Darren. We love you. And I know you're from Adelaide as well. Adelaide is absolutely gorgeous, everyone. The city of churches. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Daphne. Who are you? Who do you work for?
Yeah, my name's Daphne. I'm from Titan Property Management Adelaide, and I'm the director.
Where did the name come from? Like Titan Property. Like where did you get that name from? I've never asked you this.
I was at a Chinese restaurant and I was brainstorming names.
Okay.
And that's how it came about.
There you go.
Like it's a unique Chinese food was delicious. What was that, sorry?
I was saying it's a unique name.
It is a unique name, yeah, definitely. It's very strong. And my colours are black and white. So it's, it's quite a strong name. Trying to build a strong business. Well, we are building a strong business.
You are building a strong business, that's right. And the branding is very good too. So how long have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate since 2012, and that sort of started just from when I was younger. I was 24 and I had 2 properties. So the property managers that were renting out my property had a vacancy for a leasing officer and an inspections officer. So that's how I started, as just doing inspections and leasing properties.
Why real estate? Like, so you've given your age away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why real estate? What were you doing out of school? Were you at school going, oh, I want to be a real estate agent?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to get into customer service roles. And I think from a young age, I really, really enjoyed building relationships. And I still really enjoy it now. I think I'm quite good at it. So I was in customer service-based roles. I was managing retail stores. And they're the sort of roles that I had from leaving school. I didn't study or anything. I just went straight into full-time work. And and that's how it came about, just going into real estate. I thought this would be a great career to start in. And you look around, you see real estate agents and they're doing well. So I thought that I'd do the same.
Yeah, okay. So you were working for someone. What gave you the idea? What gave you the drive for you to open your own business?
I knew that I was destined for something bigger than working for someone for the rest of my life. And that's just something that came from inside me. So if anyone, when you guys listen to this podcast, if you feel the same way, like you should always go for it. And so basically I just did my RLA and I thought I'll just keep that in the background. But yeah, it happened sooner than I thought. And the company only came about was my friend, she bought a investment property and she asked me to manage it for her. And I had it, she sent me the message on Messenger and I had written, go to Ray White, like a local Ray White in the area. And I just backed faith and I wrote, do you know what? I'm just going to manage it for you. So within 3 weeks, I created a company and I had my first property.
Wow. So you've got your friend to thank.
Yes, I do. I tell her all the time. Definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You need to hire her as a BDM. You know, as you get the business going, get her on board. Like, you know.
I think she does work as a BDM role, so that could be on the cards.
Okay. Make sure I'll interview her for you. Okay.
Okay.
Make sure she's got the. Look, I love it because you're talking about that. You wanted to get into like a customer service industry, and a lot of people, they don't look at real estate through those eyes. And it speaks volumes for me about you because you do, and I said this in the peak performance training earlier in our Q&A, like strive to continue to add value to potential clients, right? If you can strive to continue to add value to your clients, so through those customer services, and don't be quick to just to sign them up, right? The customers that you're signing up, you are giving them great value and they are wanting to sign with you. And I can't wait to talk about how you've become such an amazing attraction agency as well. You know what? I'm gonna jump into it.
Okay.
I remember you said to me, Dennis, I'm not one of the big groups. I'm not one of the colors, should we say. I don't want to mention, any franchise names or anything.
Yes,
and I'm like, the big four. And I'm like, oh,
yes.
this girl, she's got so much to learn. She doesn't understand her own value. Like, and from a coach's point of view, from a mentor's point of view, I love when people come to me with what they think is a potential challenge. So you felt threatened by these big, I'm not like these big people. It's just little me. Well, hang on a minute. Right now, you're Daphne, Titan, I'm coming for you because your online presence is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to let you share what's happened since you started to get into video. What's happened to your social media?
Yeah, it's definitely grown. So it started when you gave me the 5-day challenge. And this was just before we started working together. So, and your feedback to me was that I already had raving fans and people within my inner circle, my tight community, that were already my friends on my Facebook page, my friends and my family, that were already supporting me in this. And that gave me the confidence to start it. And I thought to myself, all right, now it's just doing baby steps. And it started with doing one video with, say, 8 takes of the video and all the bloopers. And then I do the next couple of days and I do another video. So I wasn't doing the videos every day because when I first started, it was still, I had that sense of I didn't want to do it, to be honest. So, and then, the next time I do one, it'd be, I'd do like 6 takes. And then it started getting less and less and less, and I started getting more and more confident on the videos and talking. And now I don't, if I'm in a public place, I'll just whip my phone out and just start talking to my phone, and people are walking past, looking at me, and it's just, I just want to get my point across now. It's not about who's watching, how I'm looking, or any of that. It's just getting to the point and giving the value to my clients and the people in the community.
Your passion certainly has, like, it comes out in your videos as well. And, people hide behind social media and they don't want to do videos, but you can't hear their passion. You can't see their passion unless they're doing a video. And I feel like because of your education that you've been doing these videos, you're getting people calling you saying, can we do business with you?
Yes.
And the most important thing for everyone that's listening, this isn't just a landlord calling up. And yes, it's happened for you, right? But it's strategic alliances saying, we want you to connect with us, right? So, one of the key things that, we train in our peak performance community and with our IGT masterminders is calling strategic alliances, but those strategic alliances are also calling you, and
That's right.
that is gold, everyone that's listening, and you are mastering it and you're doing an amazing job of it.
Thank you. Thanks.
What about your hair and makeup, but when you do the videos?
I think all that sort of stuff's gone out the window now. So if you go back to the start of my social media and you watch me evolve to what I am now. So I've really only been doing videos since the end of May, 1st of July. That sort of, in that time frame. So I feel like from when it started, I was very slow. I didn't have the confidence. I'd say a lot. And that's okay, because that was the beginning. And then I thought, no, Daphne, you're going to start building this up a bit. So then I got a tripod and I put different outfits on, and I would stand there and, you know, I'd have my hands in the center position and do that. And then I went from thought to myself, okay, well, needs to evolve a bit more now. And then, you know, as we spoke, I started saying, hi guys, it's Daphne from Titan Property Management Adelaide. And now I just go into the video. So it's just all learning, 1% every day, chipping away at it. And like you and I will have our conversations and you say to me, oh, I've got to post on TikTok. So I said, yeah, I've got to do mine too. So now it's just in my daily routine. It's embedded into my routine now. And that's where it happens now. So even now to Instagram, I'll post a story every 2 hours.
Awesome.
And I've just been doing that for last week. So that this is like a new thing that I've been implementing. So every week I'll implement something new or change it up just to see what works for me, works for the business, and go from there.
So what gave you the idea to jump in and start posting the stories? Like, you know, and because stories is super raw. Like that's your raw stuff. And you know, and I know that you're doing your videos and you were really worried about, you know, that was me having a bit of an in-joke with Daphne about your hair and makeup. You know, Daphne went out and bought a tripod. Daphne would change outfits like that she's saying as well, right? And I remember, you know, Daphne during one of our one-on-ones, Dennis, you know, you like my videos? Yeah, what are you doing? I set aside, I think it's like a half a day, and you just go bang and do the videos, and you just did all your videos for the whole week. Now, what do? You pull over in the car, you put the phone down, you know, in the car, in the street, and that is amazing. But now you're doing stories. Stories you can't, like stories, so people are following your journey during the day.
Yeah, that's right. So it could just be anything. It could be a meme or a quote. It could be what I'm doing during the day, taking my dog for a walk, going down the beach, just including my daily life into the business as well, so people can see what I like to do. Obviously, coffee, my dog and my daughter are my 3 things.
Awesome.
So, and exercise as well. So putting that all in together, just so people get to know what my personality is like as well. And it could be when I buy books from the store, because I like reading and learning. So yeah, it could be anything.
So you're humanizing your brand, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, look, you've brought up books. Come on. People are going to ask me, like, why didn't you ask what books is she reading?
Oh. So at the moment, I am reading. Can't remember the name of it now.
I gave you homework to read a book, Never to Lose a Customer Again.
Yes, that's true. And I've read Utility from Darren. Darren told me to read the Utility one, which is great for social media. A really, really good one. I'm reading one about small business, to be honest. I just thought, just take the property management out of it and just look at business. And it's about, you know, what are you doing a small business for? Why are you starting the business? And it goes through the fundamentals of how business, you know, that it all lasts and that sort of thing. So yes, that's the one that I'm reading at the moment. But yes, Utility is really great. That one was a recommendation from Darren Hunter. And yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. Just self-help book, things about time management, you know, habits, stuff like that.
Yeah, awesome. So let's bring it back a little bit. So prior to you starting your own business, and when you did start the business, or when you were working as a PM, were you doing any training in real estate, or, you know, for continued development?
No, none. So everyone that I worked for, I don't know if that wasn't a thing. Every now and again, the very first company that I worked for, that boss would send me, the principal would send us to do, like in our local like RISA, RISA, they would have development days, and we'd go once every blue moon to go and do some training there. But that was it. Other than that, the other 2 agencies that I worked at did no training at all.
So what got you to want to do training now? Like, what was the motivating factor for yourself? You know, because
Because I
people are
was lacking.
lucky, or is that what you said?
Lacking. I
Oh,
felt like
lacking.
I was lacking. And was there, I'm doing this work, but is there a better way of doing it? And to be honest, I also wanted to get myself into a community. And not because I work alone, I'm the director of the property manager specialist, I do everything. So it was important for me to get into a community as well and get with some like-minded people that were going to be there for me and were going through the same things as me, the adversities and all that sort of stuff that I was going through.
Yeah, well done. And how did you hear about IGT? Like, why was it us? Like, what got you to us? Because
Okay.
you know, you were doing RESA training. I haven't spoke. Oh, I think I spoke at RESA 3 years ago. You know, it was a while ago. And I wasn't even marketed. One of the speakers fell sick. I just happened to be there, and they dragged me on the stage. Said, "Here, you're speaking." You know, lucky for them, they got me for free. You know, but yeah. But so, what caught your attention in wanting to work with IGT?
Okay, so as I said before, I wanted to get surround myself with like-minded people, other property managers, maybe ones who were only had their own business and they were a small business like myself. So I went onto Facebook and I Googled property managers Adelaide, and
Okay.
this beautiful woman called Sky Taylor, who is also in the IGT community. She was on Facebook and I saw some of her stuff, and it looked like she was just running the business herself. So I added her as a friend and I sent her a message on Messenger, and we spoke and we met up, and we actually had more in common than we thought. You know, we both our previous roles were in the same industry. We both had children the same age. We are the same age. And we were both doing the same thing, starting from scratch and trying to build a business. And I would always message her and ask her questions about what she was doing, what she was learning, you know, getting tips and that from her. And she told me to check you guys out because she was working with you guys. So that's how I found IGT. So, yeah.
It is encouraging, and you are part of an amazing community, and you're both part of the obviously the IGT mastermind community as well, and it's where we're bringing business people together, so you get to collaborate with them, and I love that everyone does get to share and help each other. You know, the purpose of business is to create customers that create customers for you. You know, and you know, it's nice that she's done that, but Daphne, I'm turning this around back to you because you're doing this with your customers. Now, we did put something in place for your business where you're only going to take on a certain number of properties. You put in place the pre-listing email, which I think is phenomenal. And what recently had happened? One of your current clients rang you up?
Sure. So I put in, like Dennis said, I put in that I only accept 4 clients per month within my pre-listing email. And I had a client ring me. He found me as another part of building the business was posting in my local community groups around Adelaide. And people, you know, always putting on there looking for a new property manager, and I would always comment and put my business page in there, and people would reach me through that way. So this particular client did reach me through the community Facebook page. I sent him the pre-listing email. He had 2 properties. He was self-managing, and he was worried that things were going to go downhill soon. So he thought he would engage with a property manager. So he bought his first property over to me, and we've got that all sorted and not a problem. So that was, say, at the beginning of this month. Within a couple of weeks, the second property, the tenants were moving out of that one, and he wanted to engage me for the second one. But he said to me, Daphne, would it be all right? I read in your pre-listing email that you only accept 4 properties per month. Do you have any space to be taking my second property on?
I love it. I just love it. When you rang me and told me, Dennis, guess what? Like, I love it. You know, it's so good because they are being mindful. A private owner, everyone, and the
Yes.
private landlord has just handed over
Yes.
properties because of online presence. You become an attraction agency, and
Mhm.
then they've rang you because they've read the pre-listing email as well, and they've said, is it okay if I give you another property? Because
Mhm.
they're concerned, they understand the value of good customer service, right? And that you don't want to take on too many properties so it lowers the standard or the level of service that you're providing for your clients. So you've set a precedent. And you know what's really good, Daphne, is private landlords stick together. Okay, so you know what the next lesson's going to be. We're going to be asking him for referrals, right? And
Absolutely.
and we'll cover that. And we haven't even covered converting private owners as part of our training yet. So it's really cool. So I'd love to ask you a question, because being a business owner, running your business, you're a mum as well. What are some of the challenges that you face in business right now, or as a property manager? What's a challenge that you're facing, and how are you overcoming that? What are you doing to
Okay.
help?
All right. So I guess you could look at it. There's all different challenges in all aspects. But in regards to family, and like I said before, I do have a daughter, and the challenge there is that I miss out on a lot. And I actually did a story the other day. I jumped on the story because I was actually able to go and pick my daughter up from school. And that never happens ever. It's always off pickup. So when I get to go pick her up from school, we always make it, a special occasion. And we make it so we go and get yochi or do something fun, take her to Sports Girl, buy her a lip gloss. She loves that sort of stuff. So, we always make it a fun thing. So that's how I overcome that, is, we just make it a special thing, and we talk about, mummy has to go to work, and it's really important because she finds people houses. So that's sort of like a family thing.
That's awesome.
I guess, is growth, and ensuring that I'm implementing the right processes along the way. So when I do get quite big, that I'm not having to, I know I'm going to be changing all the time and things are going to be changing, but I want to make sure that, I'm implementing the right processes as I go. And I guess that's why you and I work so closely together as well with the other mentors and coaches within IGT. It's really important that I did have you guys, so I would know, the correct path to take on that. So I guess the way I've overcome that is to get mentors and coaches like you guys. The other thing, I guess, is, growth, and just making sure that I'm consistently getting leads. And that's where I would go to the IGT, the lead machine events that you guys put on in Brisbane. Obviously, we have our calls every week and we discuss what I'm going to be implementing for the week. It's just making sure that I'm being consistent every single day with my social media, and always commenting on those community Facebook pages, making sure that my Google was up to date, and that sort of stuff. I'm posting the photos on there as well. So I think that's some 3 different ones.
You've actually said about 5, but you've also answered the next 3 questions that I was going to ask. So it's great. I mean, you're just you're naturally just speaking, which is great. So you've highlighted some really key things. You're a mum. You're separating you're keeping your private life private, but you're giving your daughter one-on-one time, giving her value, and then you're educating her at an early stage. Okay, it's time so I can go to work, but it's so we can have these moments when I pick you up from school. So, which is really good. Yes, you are implementing things. And I remember it was about a month in. And from a coach mentor point of view, Daphne, we're watching everything. And so, I know I do as a coach and mentor for you. And I'm watching you do all of this groundwork in the background. And you weren't getting listings, but I knew the hard work that you were doing. You were working hard on getting the book organized that you've got, you were organizing the socials, getting it lined up, you were getting the equipment, like you've got the 360 camera now, and you went and bought your stand, you were all getting prepared for the videos, a lot of work, so setting the pre-listing email up, and you've finalized that as well, which is absolutely awesome. So there's a lot of work in the background that's getting done. But what I love, Daphne, and this is over to you, you actually said to me, Dennis, I know I'm doing all of this work and I know it's going to come. You knew exactly what was going on. And congratulations to yourself from being a business owner and recognizing, because so many BDMs that we get training, they're like, Dennis, I've been training with you for 2 weeks. Where are the leads? Where's the new business? It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. And don't get me wrong, I had to learn that as well, because there's times when, we're only human. So that, like, there's times where I get down and I think, oh, I'm doing all this work. But you have to remind yourself that's the time that counts the most, is when you're possibly not getting any leads and you're still grinding and you're still doing the hard work. That's when you really, really need to make sure that you're doing everything consistently. Because that's the time that matters the most, and that's not the time to quit at all.
Not at all.
Do not quit in those times where you feel like you're not getting anywhere. They're the times that you need to stay strong and remember why you're doing this.
Yeah, failure isn't failure. It's how you get up. And you weren't looking at it as failures. You're looking at it as, okay, let's get the works done. Let's get the motion rolling. Let's get those cogs moving so we can get that business coming in. And it's all happening. You're getting the strategic alliances calling you, which is great. So Mastermind, we set you homework. We will set you a video to watch. We come together in a few days and we watch those and we talk about those videos. All of these business owners are coming together. We do that on a Monday for the Growth Mastermind, right? Now, if I'm to put you in charge, Daphne, I say, Daphne, I'm going to London next week. You're going to run the mastermind next week. What are you going to train on? What are you going to do? What's working for you, right? Daphne's like, Dennis, you should have told me you were going to ask me this question.
No, I love that.
You've got all these business owners from America, New Zealand, Australia. They're all coming in and their eyes are on Daphne. What are you going to teach them?
Yeah, definitely. So I think just around like even I haven't really touched on it as much, but I feel like the strategic alliance and the LinkedIn kind of like really, intertwines in together, because there's obviously your strategic alliances are going to be on LinkedIn, and you can have LinkedIn and then meet strategic alliances. So I guess that is working for me at the moment, is being with the strategic alliances, finding people, connecting, networking. I feel like networking for me, I joined a BNI in October last year. Before I had even looked into IGT training, property management training, I joined BNI with 3 properties. That's it. And they weren't going to accept me because they didn't think that I had it in me, or the business was too small, or whatever it might have been. And I found that being in BNI, getting the confidence to get up and speak, really, really helped me at the beginning. So, and it helps with the videos as well, to be honest. So if you're one of the people that, aren't networking at the moment, it's really important to get yourself out there in the community, go to join a networking group, because at BNI, yes, it might be very structured, but every week you're getting up and you're standing up in front of people and you're talking. And then once every few months, you get to do a 10-minute presentation and they get to know about you, and then that's how you build your connections. So that's probably what I would be teaching, is the networking and the connecting, the strategic alliances, the LinkedIn, they all come in together.
Let's add another component to that. You've got an information night that you can, which all entwines together with that as well. So that's really good.
I don't know if I would be doing that at the very, very beginning. I would probably feel like if you're starting, just start, and do things consistently to give you your confidence to be able to stand up in front of a room and talk about property management in front of everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look, I think it's great. you know, that's a very, like, so strategic alliances is my top three things. Networking is in my top
Yeah.
5 things as well. LinkedIn is the social media for strategic alliances. You know, it's probably the easiest way to
Yeah.
explain it. So you've really hit the nail on all of those areas there as well. And Daphne, your passion is amazing.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
your passion for the industry, your passion to provide the best. Everything about you is I want to be the best at everything I do.
You know what? Because I want to give the best service to my customers and my clients, my tenants, the the tradespeople that I work with. I want people to think, oh, Daphne, she's really good. You know, she's professional. She does this, she does that. She implements things for her tenants and her landlords, and that's how I want to be perceived and what I do across the board for everybody.
And it shows, you know,
Yes.
it really does show. Let me go to my questions because we've just been asking things.
Sorry,
So,
can I just say one more thing about strategic alliances? When you first told me to start looking for strategic alliances within my community to work with, I was just like overcome with, I was overwhelmed. I was like, gosh, now I've got to go and meet with these people. And, you know, even though I was doing BNI, but in BNI, you do meet with the same people every week. So I thought, oh gosh, now I've got to do this again. So it actually ended up being that I have now left BNI and I am just meeting like organically strategic alliances, and I'm meeting at least 2 per week now, at least. Whether it's I'm contacting them or they're contacting me because I've seen my socials.
and you're doing a great job of it, because I need to share with everyone today in our peak performance Q&A time that we have once a week. I was sharing with everyone this amazing person that I found in Adelaide that is doing really good videos on TikTok. And Daphne, who was this person? What was the...
His name was Zach, and he's a buyer's agent. And I said, Dennis, I met with him yesterday.
And I can't be any prouder as a coach to hear one of my people say that they're meeting someone that's caught my attention. And that was a proud coach moment for me, because you're doing, it just emphasizes that you're doing it. And that guy, he's doing really good videos.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's killing it. He's doing really well.
He did the video, so you need to go through his TikTok profile, on the smallest suburb in Adelaide. Okay, so that's what I was looking for.
Yes, so it's Thorngate. So it's got 3 streets.
Oh, you found it. Did you? It's like 178
I found the video,
Okay, there you go.
And the whole suburb is made up of 3 streets. That's it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was a good educational video that he did. And I was like, because he had the background and all that, and I just went, this is a really good education video that real estate agents should be doing as well. But he's doing it as a buyer's agent, and you know, you work with him, do videos together, absolutely amazing. Daphne, you are a bundle of energy to work with. Okay, I absolutely love you. Push me, you push us all, you ask us questions, you probe us, you question us. It's like the strategic alliance. So I've got to call them again, but we gave you a script as well. Right?
You did,
Changes things, you know, because, you know, and this isn't about us. Like, failure isn't final. People are watching how you overcome things and the next steps that you're doing. And where you may have done things before, you're getting up, you're throwing yourself into that brick wall, and you're listening to us, and you're doing it, and you're doing a great job. You know, we showcased your videos on our 2-day lead machine event for a reason. Okay, it's such a simple video that you did, teaching people how to clean a filter,
dishwasher filter,
you know, but you're doing it.
Yeah, definitely. And just on the script that you gave, so whenever I call a strategic alliance for the first time, I always use a script. When I meet them, by the end of it, they're asking me questions about me because they want to know more about me. It's not me knowing about them, because I always say, you know, like, oh, to meet them and find out more about what they do and how they run their business. But yeah, once they get to meet me and they realise my energy and, you know, what I'm there for, they're always asking me questions like, how about you, Daphne? What are you doing? Like, how do you do this? And what do you do for that? And your social media is really good. So obviously that's another aspect of having good social media content, is because they're watching as well. So when I call them and they find out my name and we set up the calendar invite, they're probably going to social media to find who I am and see what I'm about. And then once they get to meet me, they're like, yeah, this girl's cool. So they want to, you know, get to know me more. And then that's when I get asked the questions and I think, we're not here for this. We're here for you. Just great.
You're establishing trust with them very early,
Yeah.
and it's brilliant. And, you know, and doing that with strategic alliances, everyone. Daphne's doing it with those people. When I keep saying they're the ones that are BDMs for your business. You know, it's like we create customers so they can create more customers for us. Well, your strategic alliances are the same. So well done for that. Daphne,
Thank you.
thank you so much. I totally enjoy having you in our corner. I love that
Thank
you're
you.
part of the peak performance community. You're an IGT masterminder as well. And how can people reach out to you? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I want to go out on my own. Daphne's done it, right? And, you know, what's the best way for people to reach out?
Can I just say, when I first started, when I was about to start, or I just first started, I always tried to reach out to property managers who had their own business, who I would say, would you have a coffee with me and tell me about what's the best way to do things or go about things? If anybody wants to meet with me, because I didn't have the opportunity, I'd never hear back from them. I want to be able to offer that to people as well. So if anyone wants to meet with me and have a coffee or a Zoom, I don't mind. I will always talk to you about my experience and how I overcame things. But you guys can reach me Facebook, Titan Property Management, on TikTok, Instagram, Titan PM_Adelaide, and TikTok is Titan Property Management.
Daphne, thank you so much for being here with us on the BDM Coach podcast. And it's always great having you. And I've got no doubt people will reach out to you. So thank you for your wisdom that you've shared and your encouragement, because you are setting examples for other people as well.
Thank you. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.